Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining our Cloud One Introduction to Workload Security webinar. We hope that you find it informative. My name is Daniela De Silva, and I am the brand manager for Trend Micro at First Distribution. Also presenting on this webinar is Pregan and Tato from First Distribution. And from Trend Micro, we have Willem Barnard, who has joined to answer any questions. Today's agenda, I will quickly touch on Trend Micro's XDR and then hand over to Pregan, who will cover the cloud workload security. We will then move on to AWS account pairing quick hits, which will be presented by Tato, and then we'll open up the conversation for questions. Once we've answered everyone's questions, we will be giving away a $65 voucher to one of our lucky viewers. So stay tuned for that. So introducing Trend Micro's XDR, or Extended Detection and Response, which has recently been rebranded to Vision One. Even with the best prevention solutions in place, you are not guaranteed to be protected all of the time, because prevention solutions do not detect 100% of threats 100% of the time. By moving beyond prevention to identifying evidence of an attacker inside of your environment, we are able to make it easier to understand what is happening in your network by eliminating the silos put in place by solutions that are unable to communicate to each other. Please note that this would not replace a SIEM or a SOAR, but it does make them smarter by sending fewer high-confidence events. Trend Micro's Vision One plugs into each of the current solutions shown here with place for future integrations with future Trend Micro products or third-party products. It also comes with the option for a service component or Trend Micro's Managed XDR service, which means that Trend Micro's experts do the hunting and investigations on behalf of the customer. Please note that that is a paid-for service. What is great about this solution is you don't have to have all of the pieces of XDR to find value. You get value in starting with just one piece, any of these pieces. Customers usually start with their endpoint because most attacks involve user devices. Vision One finds threats hidden amongst endpoint telemetry. Email gets packaged together with endpoint because most attackers start within email. 94% of malware is delivered this way. You want to know who else has received this email thread and which email accounts are now compromised. Cloud workloads are an important piece of XDR puzzle because they have critical business information or are critical to the operations of the business. We offer more security controls than most EDR competitors. Network is a good complement to endpoint detection and response because it shows the blind spots. This would be any unmanaged device or latency Windows XP device which aren't supported by EDR, or even an IoT device like your office printer. You would use this to see how your attacker is moving across your network and how it is communicating. So why choose Trend Micro's Vision One? Trend Micro customers are better protected, having suffered half as many successful attacks over a period of 12 months, with their time to detect being quicker and with their time to detect being quicker and are 60% less likely to report attack repropagation has been an issue. It is purpose-built XDR with deep integrations into their native sensors, with distinctive data sources with Cloud One and Apex One. They support over 90 plus operating systems, and a lot of EDR vendors only support one or two flavors of Linux. And they have a security analytics which is powered by Trend Micro's threat research with built-in threat intelligence, their ZDI discovering over half of the vulnerabilities. From January this year, Trend Micro's product now include XDR, eliminating the add-on layer and simplifying the purchase. The only add-on would be the Trend Micro's Managed XDR service. and existing customers can gain access to XDR when they do their renewals. If you are interested in finding out more about XDR, please reach out to your contact at First Distribution, or alternatively, please contact me. Up next, we have Pregan, who will be taking you through Cloud One workload security.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to join this session today. Hopefully, it is very beneficial to you and your organizations, and I hope I do provide you with sufficient information to go out and chat about this product. As mentioned by Daniela, my name is Pregan Chetty. I am the Cybersecurity Cloud Product Manager, and I will be taking you through Trend Micro's workload protection. Within today's agenda, we will be covering what are workloads, the modernization of data center, the virtualization and data center security in the cloud, security fueled by leading global threat research, the benefits of workload security, as well as how to procure workload security. Let's get started. The concept of cloud computing first came around in 1950. And this was with the implementation of mainframes that were accessible via thin or static clients. Since then, cloud computing has evolved from a static state to a dynamic state, and from software to services. However, in computer science terms, a workload refers to a computer system's ability to handle and process work. Now, for example, every time you jump onto Google and you search, a workload is processed on the back end, and data centers find and present results onto your web page. That is an example of a workload. Let's look at the modernization of data center. However, before we get into the illustration in front of you, let's chat a bit around the types of threats. Now, threats target servers and cloud workloads differently compared to endpoints, and endpoints being your desktops, laptops, mobile devices, and even tablets. And therefore, these types of endpoints or these types of cloud workloads require a different blend of detection and prevention techniques. In the past few years, attacks and ransomware leveraging vulnerabilities like Apache Struts 2 and Heartbleed have specifically been targeted, purely due to these being workloads, containers, and container platforms. Yes, while endpoint products can still run on a server operating system, they don't address the way servers, cloud workloads, containers, as well as hosted environments of any nature, they don't address the way these are deployed and attacked. That's essentially meaning that we require a different blend of technology. With the illustration in front of you, we see the journey of physical servers moving all the way to virtual environments, being virtual servers and virtual desktops, eventually meeting the cloud, being public cloud, and finally ending its journey in a serverless environment. However, who's to know? We could have another pillar just past serverless. Let's see what the future holds. Now, the data center is undergoing a tremendous transformation. Organizations are now moving their server workloads to the cloud, and even leveraging container and serverless environments within the cloud native application architectures. There are many advantages of hybrid cloud computing. However, it also does come with new risks and new threats, and organizations need to ensure compliance requirements are met and that you have security across all of your workloads, irrespective of it being physical, virtual, or in a container environment. And this is where Trend Micro's Cloud One program comes in. But firstly, within the stack and within the illustration you see in front of you right now, we will be focusing on the workload aspect. However, the Cloud One platform is a security service platform for cloud builders, providing flexibility, automation, and an all-in-one security solution. Most larger enterprises manage their workloads across legacy servers, virtualized data centers, and newer services, such as container technology, being things like Amazon Simple Storage Services or Amazon S3 buckets, as well, and not forgetting serverless applications. Enterprises use multi and hybrid cloud strategies to meet their business objectives. And this is where Trend Micro has the capability to offer leading security solutions for all these customer scenarios across the entire environments, including serverless functions and cloud file storage, in a one powerful software as a service based solution. As I mentioned earlier on the slide, this is a platform for cloud builders. However, it does not limit you to using this platform purely because you're a cloud builder. Having a good security estate is number one for any organization. And with Trend Micro's workload security, providing flexibility, automation, and all-in-one solution, this is a solution that can secure every aspect of your cloud strategy. It provides a comprehensive security in a single solution that is purpose-built specifically for the environments it's in. It also allows for consistent security regardless of the workload, while still providing a rich set of application programming interfaces, also known as APIs. And this is done so that security can be automated and won't impact your teams at all. Let's touch a bit in terms of workload security's features. One of the features of workload security, or I should rather say module, is the intrusion prevention module. This inspects incoming and outgoing traffic to detect and block suspicious activity. It also prevents exploitation of known and zero-day vulnerabilities. Workload security also supports virtual patching, of which you can utilize intrusion prevention rules to shield from known vulnerabilities or even unknown vulnerabilities until they can be patched. And this is kind of required by every compliance regulation there is out there. You can configure workload security to automatically receive rules that shield newly discovered vulnerabilities within hours of their discovery. The module also helps you protect your web applications and the data that they process. And these are from things like SQL injection attacks, cross-site scripting attacks, and other web application vulnerabilities. And this is done purely until the code can be completed or a code fix can be put in place. Another key component being anti-malware. The anti-malware module helps you protect your Windows and Linux workloads against malicious software, such as malware, spyware, and even Trojans. All of this is done whilst being powered by Trend Micro's Smart Protection Network. The anti-malware module helps you instantly identify and remove malware and block domains that are known to be command and control servers. The firewall module, which is also contained within workload security, is purely for controlling incoming and outgoing traffic. However, in addition to this, it also maintains firewall event logs for any audits that your organization may need. The web reputation module is a key factor within the workload security program, especially since it's being a security technology that supports hosted, private, and virtualized instances. Majority of today's attacks start with a visit to a URL that's potentially carrying a malicious payload. The web reputation module provides content filtering by blocking access to malicious domains and known CNC servers, of which are normally used by criminals. The module taps into the Trend Micro Smart Protection Network as well, which helps it identify new threats quickly and accurately. Next up, we have the integrity monitoring. The integrity monitoring module provides the ability to track both authorized and unauthorized changes made to an instance, while still enabling you to receive alerts about unplanned or malicious changes. Now, integrity monitoring is key because the ability to detect unauthorized changes in any business environment is a critical component to your security strategy, purely due to the visibility that could indicate compromises of any instance or any workload. Workload protection also contains log inspection abilities, and the log inspection module captures and analyzes system logs to provide audit evidence for any PCI DSS or internal compliance requirements that your organization may have. And this is needed because it helps you identify important security events that may be buried in multiple log entries. With the log inspection module, you can also configure log inspection to forward malicious events to any SIEM system or centralized logging server for correlation, reporting, and archiving purposes. Lastly, we have application control. Now, the application control module that is contained within Workload monitors changes being either drift or delta and compares this to the computer's original software. Once the application control is enabled, all software changes are logged and events are created when it detects any new or changed software on the file system. When the agent detects change, you can either allow or block software and optionally lock down the computer, obviously with application control. Moving on, let's look at the virtualization of data center security in the cloud. And before we delve into information, put the first little illustration on the top of the screen that you see right now. Each pillar that has Trend Micro in it is specifically where they play. And we'll touch a little more into these aspects. As you can see on the illustration, you have your end user utilizing the Cloud Security Services platform, your service with Trend Micro Security, your virtual desktop infrastructure, container, and private cloud environments, all being secured by Trend Micro. Workload security brings advanced protection to physical and virtual servers, enabling easy deployments and management of security across multiple environments through automatic policy management. Workload security also protects virtual desktops, as well as the servers against any zero-day malware, including ransomware, cryptocurrency mining attacks, and network-based attacks, whilst minimizing the operational impact from resource inefficiencies and emergency patching. Now, security as a code also allows your DevOps teams to integrate and build security into their build pipelines and release continuously and frequently RESTful APIs. And these speak to things such as check status, automation of reporting, or even the change policy. The built-in automation that is also included within Workload speaks to automated deployment and discovery, which allows you to do things such as auto-scaling or also monitor event-driven tasks. The quick start templates that are contained within Workload security allow your teams to get up and running as soon as possible. And the templates consist of things such as CloudFormation, ARM templates, and even VMware. The Automation Center also allows you to do script templates as well as sample code. All of this is done whilst ensuring that the cloud infrastructure is deployed securely and complies with regulatory standards. Now, your regulatory standards from an AWS perspective speak to the AWS Well-Architected Framework, which is approximately 600 plus of cloud's best practices, which is still ever growing. In addition to this, you also have NIST, HIPAA, PCI, GDPR, and even POPI compliance. Let's have a look at Trend Micro's research centers. Where do they pull their data from? As to the illustration on the screen in front of you, Trend Micro has 15 global research centers and 450 internal researchers that are networked across the world to provide visibility into the global threat landscape. Trend Micro also has teams that are dedicated to cloud and cloud-native applications, where they use their wealth of knowledge to strengthen their products and protect against current and future threats. Moving on to the benefits of workload security. As organizations who play within the IT distribution and reselling space, this would be a page of utmost importance to us. And you'll see exactly why. Firstly, let's jump into the advanced threat protection little stack on the top left of your screen. Advanced threat protection allows you to detect, protect, and respond, while still providing you with complete visibility and investigation ability. The advanced threat protection is used to protect your critical servers and applications with advanced security controls. And these things being things such as IPS or intrusion prevention systems, integrity monitoring, machine learning, as well as application control. And this allows you to detect and block threats in real time with a minimal performance impact. The detection and blocking of unauthorized software execution with multi-platform application control is super beneficial, meaning that you can block off any application that is serverless or hosted within your environment or within your workload. And this gives you the ability to shield from known and unknown vulnerabilities, not only within your network, but within the web, enterprise applications, and operating systems. You have the ability with the advanced threat protection feature to send alerts and trigger proactive prevention upon the detection of any suspicious or malicious activity, while still being able to secure all of your end-of-support systems with virtual patches. And this ensures that your legacy systems stay protected all the time from existing as well as future threats. The ATP functionality also allows you to track website credibility. And this is also not only in the sense of ATP, but also in terms of their web reputation. These two features work hand in hand and provides protection to your users from infected sites with reputation threat intelligence from Trend Micro's global domain database. And this is a key area purely because you are constantly getting data feeds from all across the world. ATP also allows you to be ahead of the curve when it comes to identifying and blocking botnet and targeted CNC communications, which are the main line of attack from any hacker or potentially malicious criminal that is looking to gain data as well as credentials. The ATP functionality allows you to secure yourself against the latest cyber threats, utilizing, in addition to the global threat domain, Trend Micro Smart Protection Network, which is obviously powered by Trend Micro's market-leading global threat research organizations, being the 15 sensors that I mentioned to you on the previous slide. Let's look at unified security for the hybrid cloud. Now, cloud and data center connectors automatically discover workloads running within your hybrid cloud environments for full visibility and automated policy management. And this comes from feeds deriving from your endpoint, your firewall, email cloud applications, as well as servers, while still providing complete visibility and control of those environments. This helps you eliminate the cost of deploying multiple point solutions and achieving consistent security against physical, virtualized, cloud, and container environments with a lightweight single agent management console. This allows you to ensure security at multiple layers of your environments, including your container environments. But let's take that as an example. Within a container environment, unified security allows you, or rather includes, protection for the host. And when I mention host, I mean the container platform. Could be Docker for an example, as well as the orchestrator that lives within that. Orchestrator, let's use Kubernetes for an example. This allows you to secure your container host with the same advanced host-based controls applied across your physical and virtual machine environments. This allows you to monitor for changes and attacks not only on your hosted instance, but within your Docker and Kubernetes platforms. And this extends the integrity monitoring and log inspection capabilities of workload protection, ensuring that your customers have complete protection on runtime containers through container vulnerability shielding, which does use a portion of IPS or intrusion prevention systems, real-time malware protection, as well as east-west container traffic inspection. Unified security helps you enforce security early in the pipeline, using container security's advanced build time, image, and registry scanning. This complements workload security's runtime capabilities and ensures protection across the container lifecycle. Now let's look at the automation and streamlining of security. And this is where we speak to things such as APIs, orchestration, reporting, deployment, policies, health, implementation, as well as the monitoring of all your security environments. Now, automated security deployment, policy management, health checks, and compliance reporting are key to many organizations. But how, or I should rather say, what would be more important within a hosted environment? And this would be the security deployment and policy management within workload security's REST APIs. This allows you to reduce management costs by automating repetitive and resource-intensive security tasks, which essentially reduces the rate of false positive security alerts and enables a workflow for security incident response. The automation and streamlining of security also significantly reduces the complexity of managing file integrity monitoring with cloud-based event whitelisting, as well as trusted event management. This enables you to match your security to your policy needs, so fewer resources are needed, as well as needed to be dedicated to specific security controls. This is where we speak to the simplification of administration with workload security's centralized management, which would actually function across the Trend Micro security product stack, being Cloud One. The centralized reporting of multiple security controls reduces the challenge of creating reports for individual products, and also allows you to connect security with your existing environments and DevOps tools. This comes with the integration for leading SIEM, security management, orchestration, monitoring, pipeline, as well as IT service management tools. Now let's touch on the last block, which I'm sure has raised interest for all of us: achieving cost-effective compliance. Unfortunately, with the day and age that we currently work in, as well as the pandemic, our working environments have changed. There are BYOD policies, there are BYOL policies, and costs can run very, very high, especially when it's coming to security for these specific areas. This is where workload security can help you. Workload security addresses major compliance requirements for the General Data Protection Regulation, being GDPR, the Payment Card Industry Data Security Standards, being PCI DSS, the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, being HIPAA, as well as COPY, and many, many more, with one integrated and cost-effective solution. This allows you to provide detailed audit reports that document prevented attacks, as well as compliance policy status. At the same time, it reduces the preparation time and effort required for staff members to support audits. Workload security also assists you in supporting internal compliance initiatives to increase the visibility of network activity, whilst helping to consolidate tools for meeting compliance requirements with the enhanced file integrity monitoring capabilities. Essentially, Workload helps you enforce compliance across the development pipeline and container security, build time, and registry scanning, which also includes compliance capabilities. Lastly, how to procure workload security. But before we dive into anything that you see on the screen right now, as organizations identify and plan for migration of systems to new environments, Trend Micro can play a significant role in addressing many of the critical security requirements. They are ranked #1 in the hybrid cloud workload security markets, and they streamline their operations through their ability to secure workloads across all sorts of environments. Workload security is available as a software as a service, which is still a PCI DSS Level 1 certified offering. Or it can alternatively be procured through AWS and Microsoft Azure marketplaces. Trend Micro can help organizations streamline the purchasing and implementation of essential security elements. And this is a recommendation that comes from the Center of Internet Security, otherwise known as CIS. They have proven API level integration with various vendors ranging from VMware all the way to AWS and Azure, whilst providing complete visibility, which is key to every and any organization, especially when it comes to the automation of security that needs to be aligned with DevOps approaches. Workload security is powered by something called XGen, which is both a workload security software as a service-based solution that includes a cross-generational blend of security controls for protecting things that I've mentioned before, like your service, virtual machines, cloud workloads, containers. And this includes network security to enable virtual patching, network attack prevention, and lateral movement prevention, as well as a host-based firewall that includes file reputation, variant protection, and machine learning. Not forgetting our traditional behavioral analysis and web reputation to protect all vulnerable systems from the latest in threats. System security enables the lockdown of systems, and this is provided to you with Trend Micro's workload protection, and it helps you with the discovery of unplanned or malicious changes to any registry or key system files, while still discovering anomalies in critical log files. In addition to all the information I've given you, as this first distribution have an agreement with both Trend Micro and AWS that allow you to link your AWS account to us and qualify for Trend Micro Cloud One workload protection discounts at unseen prices. I'm sure you've never ever seen a price like that. If you want to have more information regarding the pricing, as well as availability and integrability of the solution, please feel free to reach out to your account manager, or you can contact me directly for more information. My email address is freegan.chetty@firstdistribution.com. I trust that I've given you ample information. I thank you for your time once again, and over to Tato, who will be doing the account pairing quick hits with you.
Thank you so much, Freegan. Hi, everyone. My name is Tato Misikare. I'm the AWS Partner Development Specialist at First Distribution. Thank you so much for choosing Trend Micro in AWS. Today, I'll be taking you through the quick process of linking the AWS account to First Distribution so that you can benefit from this awesome Trend Micro promotion. So first, you need to access the AWS Management Console by please going to aws.amazon.com/console. There are two types of things that you need to determine prior to linking the account. So the first one would be, is the account a standalone account? Does the account have a payment method? The second one would be, is the account part of an existing organization? So to create an AWS account, please click on the complete sign up or on the top left corner and follow the instructions. If you already have an existing AWS account, please click on log back in. Okay, we now need to check if the account is a standalone account. So you'd need to please navigate to your account name, then click on organization. If you see the leave organization option, that simply means that the account is part of an existing organization, and you'd be required to leave the organization by clicking on leave organization button, as demonstrated on this slide. The next step, you need to check if the account has a payment method. So you do the same step, you click on your account name, navigate to my billing dashboard, and then on the left-hand pane, you'll see payment methods. Once you've selected payment methods, you then navigate to payment methods where you get an option to insert your credit card. So this could be your debit card or a credit card. Once you've inserted all the relevant information, that account will now qualify to be a standalone account. Finally, now this is the process of accepting the linking invite from First Distribution. The invite can be found under invitation as demonstrated in the slides. So this is how actually the invitation will appear. You'll need to review the invitation details. An invitation from First Distribution would consist of the First Distribution email address under the master account email. Once you have accepted the invitation, the payment method immediately changes from credit card to our management account. So simply meaning that the billing will now be through First Distribution and not through the credit card. So billing will be sent through us as a distributor, and then obviously we'll bill you as our partner or end customer. So thank you so much for joining. If you have any questions, please drop them in the question tab and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Over to you, Daniela.
Great. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Apologies. I just want to... so we are going to open up the floor shortly for questions. But firstly, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for joining us today. And thank you, Willem, for being on standby to field any questions and for your support. If you would like any more information around any of the Trend Micro products, please reach out to your First Distribution account manager, or alternatively, you can contact me. Okay, great. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We'll be in contact with you regarding the voucher, and please stay tuned for any future webinars. Have a great day, everyone.